The film Misrepresentation, pun intended, highlights the unrealistic and unfair representation of women in the media. More often than not, movies and television degrade women to nothing more than their appearance and depict them as subordinate to men. As a result, males hold unrealistic expectations of feminine appearances and actions, but even more detrimental, girls find it difficult to view themselves without comparison to what's shown to them in the media, a majority of which is a completely inaccurate representation of real life. For example, girls will not believe they can be world leaders, or any profession for that matter, if they do not view others just like them doing just that. Today, these girls are lacking a figure to emulate. Only the media can change this. The following two clips will support the thesis in different ways, one in a linear, logical fashion, and the other representing a direct consequence of this misrepresentation.
I think what happens is that if you do not have women there, then girls do not see that they can be that. So it's really what you see that inspires your idea of what's possible for you in the world.
The phrase seeing is believing, which supports the thesis of the film, is exemplified here in a fascinating manner. First, a claim is made by Mrs. Jenkins that if you do not have women there, then girls do not see that they can be that. This claim alone supports the thesis of the film that representation is key for young girls to believe that they can achieve a certain goal. Next, the claim is proven in two equally effective ways.
I do disagree with Sarah Palin on a lot of issues, but seeing her up on stage there with her young family and her young baby was just beautiful, and I thought, you know what, maybe I could give this a shot as well.
Here is a prime example of Jenkinson's point. An anecdote about a woman simply seeing in the media that women can, in fact, be that, and ultimately running for government office because of it. The woman looks average, although she does have nice hair. Our hair may even be the same color. One may establish a similar superficial connection with her, and therefore believe that they too can be in her position someday. Furthermore, this is being shown on Fox News, a prominent news channel. Her presence on Fox increases her credibility. Women can be on Fox News? Wow, maybe I can do that someday. Who knows how many more girls could have the same experience with more exposure to these types of women. It may result in an increase in female government officials. Here, logos is utilized. Those who watched a television show with a woman as president were 68% more likely to accept a female president. This number is overwhelming, once again showing that mere exposure to the idea via the media can make one more susceptible to the notion that a woman can be the president of the United States. Let's look at the poster for the TV show. Wife, mother, leader of the free world. Although the titles are stacked on top of each other, making it seem like wife is the most significant word, it merely shows that a woman can bear all three titles at once. Just because she is leader of the free world doesn't mean she'll be any less of a mother or wife. Her stance in the photograph echoes those of our male presidents, giving her that same aura of power, but the hand on her hip makes her stance slightly more feminine, showing that you can be powerful and still retain your femininity.
The emphasis on women's appearance affects more than just women on screen. It's affecting women's ability to participate in the political process. Ironically, the more power women gain, the stronger the backlash against them. And this phenomenon is most evident in the way the media disrespects our female leaders.
She's irresistibly cute, let's put it that way. In the way she presents herself, obviously she's attractive and all that.
Sarah Palin looks really hot in that hat. She just said that she doesn't know how cars work. Oh, that's crazy. You seen the hat on her?
Both you and Sarah Palin are good-looking women. I mean, you're attractive, young, relatively young women.
Kagan, he's going to put on the U.S. Supreme Court. Isn't there such a thing about the aesthetics of the appointee? Let's put it to you this way. She's not the type of face you'd want to see on a $5 bill.
I think I'm going to send Sotomayor and her club a bunch of vacuum cleaners to help them clean up after their meetings.
Cynthia McKinney, the former congresswoman from Georgia, was another angry black woman.
Look at these ugly skanks who make up the female leadership of the Democratic Party.
Do you know that ugly hag, Madeleine Albright? Remember her? A psycho. She was the Secretary of State under Clinton. Remember, like a fat moron.
And now we have the Wicked Witch of the West, Nancy Pelosi.
I think if Speaker Pelosi were still capable of human facial expression, we'd see she'd be embarrassed.
Nancy Pelosi, get another facelift, lady. Another reason why it's very rare to find a woman worthy of serving in political office.
And it's bye-bye Pelosi.
And Hillary Rotten Clinton, her thighness, is no better than Dumbo with the big ears.
When she raises her voice, and when a lot of women do, you know, it's as I say, it reaches a point where every husband in America has heard it one time or another.
You get a woman in the Oval Office, most powerful person in the world, what's the downside?
You mean besides the PMS and the mood swings?
Are you, as the kids say, triggered? I most certainly am. This exemplification of men's verbal degradation of female leaders, simply because they have not been frequently exposed to them and therefore do not know how to react to them, is highly inflammatory. The diction these men use, for example, skank and fat moron, have an incredibly negative and disrespectful connotation, and under each audio-recorded comment, a number of average listeners was displayed. 3 million, 6 million, 8 million, a whopping 14 million. All of those ears were being bombarded with these derogatory comments about women, which sent the unacceptable message to listeners that it is not only acceptable, but comical to speak about women in this way. These influential men contribute to the problem and are simultaneously affected by it. They are sending the message to young people watching that this is the norm due to the ease in which they say their comments, and because there is a lack of powerful women represented in media, these men feel permitted to objectify them.